fall asleep, and this is gonna be a hard life for me because normally I be ready to eat people up and tear people up um, when I'm upset, but honestly, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. So I've done two videos, and I did not say the name the first two times, but I just received some text messages where I was being threatened. Um, and I know she had something to do with the text messages because you wasn't even clever enough not to use a Dallas. Like you use the same area code that your phone have. Like you wasn't even smart enough not to use the area code. And I'm not gonna read the messages because they were really, really bad. They were really, really like the things that this person said to me. I will never forgive them for this. The and went if they told somebody and got them to say the things that they said to me, there is no forgiveness for it. Don't get on your social media and say you're just going to be positive vibes and then wait till later on the next night and text me messages talking about you're going to report me for passing HIV, talking about my womb, talking about my vagina, talking about talking about my status, talking about my teeth, talking about I mean like it's crazy. And I mean like I literally could go from head to toe and talk about you because you are not I've always complimented you and I've always given you life and I've always affirmed you and I've always tried to make you feel beautiful and you know, um, make you feel loved and make you feel attractive. And even though, like my daughter, a lot of my daughters are unclockable and pretty, I never treated you different. I never treated you like you were less than. I always put you on a pedestal. When you came by my house, when you in whatever place I was in, I cooked for you. I brought you your plate. I mean, I treated you like royalty every time you was around me. Like so. This is a sad moment for the nation. This is a sad moment for LimLelur because um, empathy was supposed to be the one to carry the torch, and it's no good. It's no good. The argument that I had yesterday that I was telling y'all about the dude being fat, it was her. And it was in front of my daughter and she got loud. She got extremely loud. And I don't know I have concerns for her lately because if you saw the stuff that she posted on social media, with her, following the woman around because the woman said category of fag, and the woman clearly looked like, her brain was processing information differently. And she followed her around the train station. And even when she was by the police officers, like she had her in between the police officers. Then after the police officers told her to leave, she followed her down the thing, and she kept following her, kept saying, I mean, like had the woman scared. Then she started arguing with the police officer in another video. And it was so funny because earlier that day I told her, I said, that energy will come back and get you. Like when you put that energy out into the universe, that energy will come back and get you. And it was so funny, like everything we was watching the TS Bambi video, and I was talking about TS Bambi detransitioning, and she was challenging me on, well, I don't agree with that. And it's like everything, it's like, I don't know, it's like people ask me to take up space, but this person have to take up space. Like this person have to be seen, have to be heard, have to make it about them. That's not me. When I come into a space, if you don't ask me to speak, if you don't ask me to talk, if you don't ask me, like we went to an event the other day, my son asked me to talk. He asked me to get up in front of people and say something. I don't volunteer to take up space, but you know I'm older, so I don't necessarily like. Sometimes when we be walking out in the public, like she'll just forced communication between people, like, hey, how you doing, what, like trying to make people talk that clearly don't want to be bothered, you know and then when it doesn't go the way that she wanted to go, then she turn around and play the victim and act like someone's done her something wrong. And that is a lot, and I overlook that with her because I try to have grace for her, because I know that we're all going through something. I know the situation she's living in. I know what her housing situation is. I know all of the things that she has coming up. So I make a lot of excuses for her. But it all came down to the punch last night, and it was so crazy. It all came down to the punch yesterday. It was so crazy because I made the song. The song I made was called Give You Space. If y'all saw the live, a lot of the most recent videos have been set to private, and I'm just doing that now. I'm starting to set like the recent stuff that we've been doing to private. I'm not going to fully erase her from the timeline, but a lot of things I'm going to set to private because I just, I don't even want to be engaging with the content because I really do feel like that season, it was weird energy. I've been feeling weird energy from her for a minute. And when we got into the argument when we got into the argument when we got into the argument last night behind the boy, I couldn't believe that she sat there and she got full off a cocktail that I gave her, uh, food that I had cooked, and weed that my daughter had gave her, and caught an attitude and stood in the kitchen and screamed and hollered. And every time this child come over here with me, I always walk her to the train station. Like that was the only time I never walked her to the train station. Like this is literally how thoughtful I am with this person. And so for like she was upset because she didn't like the flyaways in her hair, the human hair flyaways that she had got put in her head. I begged my daughter to take the flyaways out of here, so that her braids could look presentable. Like I literally begged her because she looked like she was so sad and she looked like she was so heartbroken. So I begged my daughter to take the flyaways out of her. Like I'm always trying to do things to make her happy and for her to give what she gave. And when she was walking out the door after she screamed and hollered at my house, yes, I did call her a faggot. Yes, I did say faggot ass. Yes, I did because she was acting like a fucking fag. She was being loud. She was being aggressive. She was trying to overtalk me and my own shit, and she was loud and wrong. She was loud and wrong, and it gave faggot energy, and that's what I said. And let me tell you something. With my daughters, the ones who are passable, the ones who are pure tuna, we play with each other and say, like, how can you call yourself whole and be uncomfortable over that? Well, perhaps, wait. Well, if I'm not passable, I definitely could use the F word. Like, passable people should be able to use the F word. I mean, unpassable people should be able to use the F word if nobody can. Like that, you ain't making no sense. So I'm gonna block you. Like if you're not passable, you definitely should. You definitely should be able to use it. So even if I'm not passable, that I should be able to use the word. What you saying? Only passable girls should be able to use the word faggot. Make that shit make girl. That don't even make no sense. But anyway, so yeah, so when she was leaving up out of here, because it was giving punk faggot energy, I said I called her that, and I didn't call her that because of how she looks in her transition. It had nothing to do with that. I called her that because that's how she was acting. She could have been the fishiest girl. She could have been unclockable. She could have had a vagina between her legs. I would have called her a fag. You better ask my children. She could have been the fishiest, most unclockable girl. If it would have been giving faggot energy, I would have said you're acting like a fag. And what I don't appreciate about her is that you can go around acting like a bully, giving out bully energy, and then when you get that energy back for disrespecting somebody in their house, for disrespecting someone in their house, when you get that energy back for disrespecting somebody in their house, you couldn't even humble yourself and say, you know what? I am wrong. I am being loud. I am doing too much. You double down. You called me all kind of old. You called me all kind of old hoes. You called me you said fuck you old hoe. You said now you sending me messages talking about my status and talking about my pussy, talking about I mean like you just literally like talking about my mouth and my teeth like you literally just but you being positive though. You're not being negative. You're not doing that, you know. And it's okay. You know, I'm not upset about the reads. I'm upset because I feel like deep down inside you've been harboring these feelings. Um you know, the girls feel away. You know, the girls feel away. You know, some girls feel away. You know, they pretend like they can handle being in your light. They pretend like it doesn't bother them, but it does. You know, and I noticed that, you know, like anything that I talk about, um, if I say left, they'll say right. If I say up, they'll say down. And I would always try to um look at it as wholeness or look at it as balance. You know, I would look at it as, you know, they're not a yes man. They're not a yes person. You know, they're not just going along like that's and I wanted that. You know, I don't want to be around people who are always agreeing with me and who are always just as soon as I say something, you know, they always agreeing with me. So I appreciated the fact that there was discord and that we wasn't always agreeing with each other. But lately it seems like it's been always, you know, just arguing for the sake of arguing, disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing. And that for me is just too much. And it's crazy because um when they take their hormones regularly, it never fails. Like if I look at our relationship and how our relationship has worked over the years, we've always clashed when they were taking hormones regularly. Like it never fails. I could say other things about the hormones, but this video is not to trash this person. Like I'm not gonna, even though they've trashed me, this video is not to trash this person. Um, we've always clashed when they get on moans. Like we always get into it when they're taking moans regularly, and they have been taking their moans regularly. So I was trying to be patient because I knew they were taking their moans. I'm giving them the shot. Like I'm the one that administers the shot every week, so I know they're taking hormones every week, and I know what hormones do to them. But if you can't control, if you can't control your if you can't control your actions on the hormones, like if we gotta take some space, and that's why I felt like yesterday was so prophetic, because that song that had came up on my spirit about I've got room and I'm gonna give you space, and like that song seemed like it was literally to say it's time for us, like the song felt like it was for us, like the song felt like it was a prophecy, like the song really felt like prophecy. It really did, like, because it just came out of the blue, and I didn't even know why I wanted to sing the song or where the song came from. But yesterday, when I started singing that song, I just kept singing it. And that same damn day, we got it, because I was really uncomfortable about the live video where they followed that person around the airport, where they followed that person around the train station. um the woman, the woman looked like she wasn't rap tight, and she put the woman on camera, and she followed the woman around the train station, antagonizing the woman to get her back for calling her a faggot. So she followed her around the train station with the camera, followed her, like, even when the police had, like, like, she was still following her with the camera. Like, that made me uncomfortable. That made me uncomfortable, but I still rationalized it and found a way to be supportive. Even when I saw her arguing with the police, saying, "Don't touch me, don't put your hands on me," just standing there just arguing. And then when she uploaded all of it to the internet, I was like, I just had to, like, we literally went and looked at an apartment for them yesterday. Like, they came over here and asked me, because they were with me through getting my apartment, like going through their process. So I wanted to be with them through them getting. So we literally, I went with them to go and look at the apartment. Um, I went with them to go and look at the different apartments. I was excited for them. I was happy for them. We was talking about like, everything was good. And I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's like the confidence of, feeling good about yourself, like, because they have been being more disciplined. They have been making better choices. And so I'm really proud of them for that. But sometimes when you love somebody, the best thing that you could do for them is give them space. Literally. The best thing you could do for them is give them space. And so that's where I'm at with it. So I just want to let y'all know that I just wanted to say that, before y'all start asking me, where empathy at, and why we not seeing empathy in no videos. You won't be seeing empathy in no videos for a while. And if we do patch up from this, I don't think we will be the same, because this is not the first time um empathy has played in my face. And the first time that she played in my face, when she tried to make me look like a predator, um, tried to paint this picture of me as a predator, a lot of my sisters was telling me to leave her alone then, and to not befriend her again, and to not deal with her again. And I ignored them, and I still, took her back into my space. And so, and I let her come, like, when in my last apartment. That's how she got set up here. When she came to New York, I let her stay with me for almost 3 months, you know, and so it's just unfortunate that I really have to close the door on this, because at this point, it's me ignoring the signs all in front of my face, you know. And I'm just in a place in my life where I can't deal with weak alliances. So right now, this year, I am going to focus more on solo projects. I'm always gonna rep LimLelur. Um, baby, I was doing this work before it was a name, before it was ever named. I'm always gonna rep that. But this gonna be I'm doing this gonna be a solo project here. This is gonna be solo work. I'm not trying to do all that collective working with buku. Like I need a break from that. I need a break from working with the girls and like I'm a support, my elder sister Lynn if she have an event and she have, some get-togethers, but I'm not doing all that this year. This year I'm focusing on my art. I'm focusing on my music. I'm focusing on my storytelling. I'm focusing on it's going to be solo projects this year. That's it. I've been trying to be a mentor and take people up under my wings and work with them. And it's just a level of disrespect because, I go above and beyond the call of duty for people to show up for people. And yes, um, I'm not a person that back down, because I know what I bring to the table. I know how supportive I am to people. I know how loyal I am. I know how giving I am. I know how hard I show up for people. You know what I'm saying? I know how hard I show up for people. I know how much I've invested into her. And for her to talk to me the way that she talked to me the other night, yes, I got mad at her. And I said, when she started yelling at me, when she raised her voice and she wouldn't stop raising her voice and she kept being loud, like it was like she couldn't stop. It's like when she started being disrespectful, it's like she get under a spell and she get loud. And, you know, I'm too old to be putting my hands on girls and to be around here fighting with the girls. That's ghetto, but I'm not above it. And so when those thoughts start popping in my mind, that's when I start name calling. And so I said, "You sound stupid," when she wouldn't stop yelling and she got loud and she just wouldn't stop yelling and she was doubling down on being wrong. And then I said, "You sound stupid," after she had yelled at me she yelled at me one too many times in my house. And then when she kept yelling at me, I said, "You sound stupid." Then she got mad because I said she sounds stupid, but you didn't care at the fact that you was yelling at me in my house after all I've done for you and how I've continued to show up for you. You didn't have no respect for me or my neighbors in my house. Then when she was on her way out the door, she was still talking. And that's when I said, faggot ass shit. Because that's what it was. That was pure faggotry. That was pure faggotry. How you gonna be whole and be quick to read everybody else and call everybody else halflings and want to call everybody else out? But when it's time for you to be held accountable, when it's time to hold your feet to the fire, you're trying to find every reason why not to. You're trying to find every reason why you not. Like, I don't have no problem with holding myself accountable. I get on this live all the time and talk about the dumb shit I did. Y'all know that. Anybody who have literally watched me go live, y'all know I get on this live all the time and talk about the dumb shit I do. I get on this live and read myself all the time, which is why I'm not going to share space with nobody that can't accept responsibility for the dumb shit that they're doing. I cannot be around people who want to hold everybody else accountable but themselves. I cannot be around people like that. That's not good for my sanity. That's not good for my health. You want to call everybody. She loved calling people out. She loved talking about what everybody else is doing. But the moment somebody try to tell her the shit she need to work on and the shit she could do to improve herself, because it's a lot. It's a lot of things she could do. I remember one time she gonna call herself getting mad at me and checking me. This was years ago. And I should have stopped fucking with her then. Talking about, cause I could write a grant. Cause I could write a grant. Cause I could get money too. Cause I know how to write. I write music. I could write a grant. Well, ma'am, please write a grant because I'm tired of writing all of them. Write us a grant. I'll be happy when you do. I would love for you to write a grant and get it. I ain't hating on you. Please write a grant. Please write a grant and get a coin for LimLelur. I would love for you to do that. But then gonna get mad at me. Like it's like even when another person write music or create music for LimLelur, I could have did that. All it was this. I could have did that. Like hating on everything, but you try to present this personality to the world like you just this ray of sunshine. Now, it was a little bit more positive before she came to New York. Now New York then shifted this person into something else because I've watched I've watched empathy in the train station, people coming down the stairs. And you know how it is in a train station when people coming down the stairs, they coming down all the lanes. I've watched empathy sit in the middle of the stairs and make people go around her when people trying to come down the stairs. Sit in the middle of the stairs and make people go around. People getting off work, people tired, people had a long day, people trying to get to where they going. Y'all know how New York is. Sit in the middle of the stairs. But I have supported them through all of that. Like I just keep my mouth. It's so much stuff that I've seen. And then I'm completely honest with this person about everything. I'm completely honest with this person about everything that there's no shame in my game. There's no shame in nothing that I do. Anything that I do off live, I could talk about it. I'm not ashamed of anything that I do. There's nothing that I do off this camera that I can't sit in front of this camera and talk about. If I don't tell the story, it's because there's other parties involved and I'm trying to respect them. But I don't have no problem with telling my part. The other day, I let a butch queen come up in here and dig in me so deep that my stomach was hurting all day. And I couldn't even dilate for 3 days because this butch queen violated my hole, not my booty hole, the new hole, the revised hole, violated. I felt so dirty and I felt so used and I felt like a dirty, but you know what? I needed that degradation. I needed that shame. Good things came out of it though, because I think it was healing for him as well. But good things came out of it. But yeah, I mean, that Butch Queen fucked me like he was mad that I didn't have no dick to fuck him back. That's how he fucked me. He fucked me like he was mad that I didn't have a penis. Like he was angry that I couldn't flip him over and give him his turn. It happened. It happened to me. And that was why we didn't have service on Saturday because that happened to me Friday. So I was recuperating on Saturday. That butch y'all know that I like feminine men, but I've learned my lesson. I don't right I don't even want to be sexually active right now. Like I'm good. Like I'm just I don't want nobody touching me, you know. I did appreciate, like, I don't know, I was trying to see how much, like, I think because I want more capacity, I want to be able to take more, and there's this part of me, and it's this part of me that's fascinated with seeing how much I could take, but I saw that I put myself in a really harmful situation. I put myself in a really toxic situation, and I'm taking accountability for that. I put myself in a toxic situation because I'm trying to prove something to myself, you know. And I could take accountability for that. I did that, you know. I put myself in that situation. Did nobody force me to, you know. You right. Yeah, did nobody force me to. And I think after it was over with, I realized that I allowed I didn't realize I was allowing abuse until I had time to process it. Yeah, I didn't realize it, you know. And we talked after it was over with because he opened up to me and he told me about a lot of the stuff that he's been through, and he told me about a lot of the trauma that he's been through. And I think that he may have been, high off of something, but he called me the next day and he was crying, and he had a more apologetic spirit, and he was in a different space. I'm not gonna have sex with him again. I'm not doing that no more. But after I heard his story, I had a little bit more compassion for, what he did to me and how he treated me. But it was vile, child. It was vile. It was disrespectful. Like, if I would not have given consent, I could have. It felt like the R word. It felt like the R word. That's like biting the hand that feeds you. That is mad foul. Someone lets you stay with them for 3 months. That's a friend, and you do them that way. That's a sad person that will treat someone who is a good friend, treat them like that. Someone let you stay. Yeah, that was when she first came down here. Um, I could excuse the person who would try to be a friend. I could excuse the person who I would try to be a friend to who I think is my friend if it's the alcohol or other impairments, to give them grace because they're talking out of their head, but not too much. And I was trying to until they sent them text messages tonight. I can't, and that wasn't no impairment. Like, unless you done went got high again, um, cause you done had 24 hours to cool down, and you send text messages, weird text messages to my phone, threatening to report me to the people. Like, I'm around here passing out infection and not telling people. First of all, I'm undetectable. First off, I take my meds. So what you're really doing is shaming people who are positive. First off, that's what it's giving. It's giving ignorance, and it's giving shaming people who live with HIV, who live with AIDS and HIV. And that's some sick shit to say how greatly it impacts the community. It's sad we can't come together as the LGBT when the world is against us already. hmm Thank you, I am that I am. I'm reminding myself that we all make mistakes. You, me, say, girl, you got far more patience than me. Health status reads are wrong. Yeah. So, yeah, this is not a video to tear them down. Um, but if this child ever send me some more text messages talking about my looks, cause she always come for my teeth. She always come for my teeth. And I would rather have my teeth and this discharged pussy than them cold, sweaty hands. That's one read I gotta get out. Or I got to get that off my chest. I ain't gonna even talk about the other stuff that I could say, but them cold sweaty hands, fat, cold sweaty hands. Girl, stop. You is not in no position to be sitting around here reading nobody. You ain't in a position. You always coming for my teeth, but baby, again, I would rather have this grill and this leaky pussy than what you got. Let's be clear. And I'm gonna leave that at that. And I'm gonna get off this live, and we gonna move on from this topic. We gonna move on from this topic. I'm not gonna talk about this no more. But I wanted y'all to know. Well, it may come up again later in a different text, but I wanted y'all to know before y'all start asking. I ain't seen. Well, I'm getting ready to be traveling, so you wasn't gonna see a no way. But that chapter, that chapter is closed. That chapter that chapter is closed. I wanted to be with them when they was getting ready to go through their surgery. I wanted to be with them when they was getting ready to get their housing. But some things ain't meant to be. I hope that I hope that they safely get their housing. I hope that everything go well with them. I hope that they stay healthy and clean and sober as possible. I wish them well on their journey. I wish them clarity and discipline and strength. I wish them good things, but I can't. I cannot. I cannot, and if they come back into my life, we're not going to be close. We're not going to be able to do we're not going to be able to do the, ride or die, you right here with me, because I noticed we was fine until my daughter came. And so I think it was some energy because my daughter is very passable, very passable. And I think that she felt a way because it was me as a sex change and my daughter who's passable. And so when I called her a fag, she felt like it had something to do with her aesthetic, but it didn't have anything to do with her aesthetic. It had something to do with her actions. It was a behavior. It, and you feeling like it had to do with your looks, because, ma'am, if I felt like that about you, I would not walk down the street with you, because you're very bold. You talk to men, you walk up to men, you initiate conversation with men all the fucking time. Sometimes it goes well, and sometimes they look at you like you crazy. It's a roll of the dice. But I support you. I never shy away. I never get up and move away. I never act like I don't know you. I never act like I'm embarrassed to be around you. I always embrace you when I see you. I never act ashamed of you. So if I felt like that about you, I wouldn't be with you. I wouldn't be around you. I wouldn't hang around you. I wouldn't. So that wasn't what it was about. You just felt embarrassed because I said it in front of her. But unfortunately for you, you acted like a fag in front of her. You got loud. You tried to be a bully. You gave too much in front of her. And you got called David in front of her. And you thought that I was just going to bow down and let you make me look weak in front of her. You should have had some respect and you should have set that one out, but you didn't. You had a point to prove. And I hope it was worth it. In my mind, it wasn't. Cause she wasn't even engaging. She wasn't rooting for nobody. She wasn't laughing. She, she wasn't instigating it. She was quiet as a church mouse. She wasn't feeding it. She wasn't saying, "Ooh, ooh," blah, blah. She didn't give none of that. She didn't instigate it. She didn't promote it. She didn't egg it on. She didn't do none of that. So you hopped all the way up to you went from 1 to 10 all by yourself. Cause nobody was feeding it. It was just you. You started getting loud before me. I was sitting on the damn toilet trying to use the bathroom. So we know I wasn't really trying to hoop and holler, sitting on the toilet trying to poo, screaming and hollering on the toilet. Come on. I'm trying to make a bowel movement. Well, I look like screaming out. You started the hooping and hollering first. I think your so-called friend is mad with you for not being for them not being fully developed body than you, the surgeries, etc. Not I'm trying to tear them down. And I think that it just I think sometimes it's a little hard, it's a little hard to share space. It's a little hard to share space. It feels, you feel reduced. And so if I ever say anything, it's immediately taken as an attack, or it's immediately misinterpreted. And it's like I'm not allowed to say certain things because I have titty sips, ass, and a vagina. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm being transphobic. I'm not honoring non-op girls or pre-op girls. Like I'm being disrespectful. I'm being shady. I'm being toxic. No. If I do some fag shit, and girls have told me, I know I do fag shit. I know I do. That's not where my energy rests and reside. That's not the basis of my character. I'm not always doing fag shit. But I literally created a series called All Right Miss Punk. So that I can have a punk out moment, so that I can have a little video where I can actually channel my inner punk. Literally created a series called All Right Miss Punk. All right, Miss Punk. Like I literally created a series so I can have my punk moment, my fag moment, because the punk and the fag is really pretty much the same thing. But I literally created a little puppet show so I can have my little punk and fag moments creatively. All right, Miss Punk. Like literally, so I could channel that punk energy into something. But I'm not going to use it to disrespect somebody else in their house. I'm whole. And a part of that wholeness is there's a punk in there. I like to think that, but that's not my more evolved, most enlightened. That's not my highest self. That's one of my lower vibrational parts of me. There's some punk in there. There's some bitch in there. There's some nigga in there. It's a little bit of all that in there. It's like they say with the Pace Pecani commercial. It's in there. But I try not to lead with that or be ruled by that. A man, a woman. So, that's all. And so it kind of shocked me that they got so offended. And I think the reason why they got so offended is because that word came back to haunt them. Because earlier that same day, that woman had said category fag, and she followed them around with the camera saying category fag, category fag. She started the day with that energy, and she ended the day with that same energy. She ended the day getting called a fag. And it was because I mean, if y'all would have saw the energy, like if y'all would have saw how she was acting, if I could have video recorded it and showed y'all, everybody that would have saw that, y'all would have said, that's faggot energy. Everybody would have said it. Everybody would have said it. But because I'm a sex change, I can't say it. I'm being toxic. I'm being I'm being transphobic. I'm being homophobic. Okay. Anyway, I'm about to get ready to lay down. We just have to let go sometimes. A man and woman. Some things need to be said, and I agree with you calling them on their wrong. And I'm not fixing to sit up here and deny and say that I did not. I did not. I said, you sound stupid. I did say that when they kept yelling. And then I said, fag, because it was fag energy. And I have literally called my daughter, who is a sex change, who is very passable. I have called her when me and her were arguing. I have called her a fag. So it had nothing to do with them not being where I am in my transition. It had nothing to do with that. And the fact that they felt like that sounds like something you need to work out with a therapist. But don't make that my problem, and don't try to police my language and tell me how I could talk because you're insecure about where you are in your transition. Cause it's always the girls that's insecure about where they are in their transition that get super upset when somebody say when somebody misgender them or something. It's never a really fishy girl who confident in themselves. It's just like with a man who comfortable in his sexuality. If he know he heterosexual, he's not gonna be uncomfortable around gay people. He's not going to be uncomfortable with having conversations about gay people. If you know you pussy, if you know you give tuna, if you know you come through, somebody calling you a man or somebody calling you a fag or somebody misgendering you, child, you gon' that's gonna roll right off your bag, boo. What are you talking about? Okay, sure, whatever. Bitch, you're not finna sit up here and argue and da 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 da. See, I used to do shit like that when I was insecure. Now, bitch, I'm finna call you a halfling. Okay, halfling. And keep it pushing. Yeah, but anyway, my sister calling me. Let me go ahead and answer the phone. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for talking to me, you me, and I am that I am. I appreciate that so much. Bound around both circle and square, we too speak life, so operations beware. Sending healing to those in despair, ill by bull, so by which means we come in peace, no harm to any. Lay lim, lay lur, lay lur, lay lim. Um, we could both live on the side of her and him. I love y'all. Remember to light y'all candles and know that they're preparing us for times that are now. And this is not the new year haven't came yet, and so we're still being prepared for the spring when the spring comes, and you know people relationships are being tried and tested, and I've had a lot of relationships that unfortunately I've had to move away from, but I'm not messed up about them because I see how the ancestors are replacing them. I see how my life is opening up and opportunities are opening up. And so I do grieve and I do hurt for the loss of for the loss of these relationships and for the loss of these friendships. Like I do grieve for them, I do hurt for them, but I see what the ancestors are doing in my life, and I see I wasn't able to let people that were worthy to be in the space, or people who can help me to expand and to grow, and I can help them to expand and grow. I wasn't having the space for them because I was so busy trying to, constantly pour into people who really were not appreciative, and so I'm getting ready to start my next fast again. It's coming up Thursday. I'm fasting in preparation because I'm gonna be traveling again, and so I'm gonna get my temple back. I've been footloose and fancy free, eating meat, cutting up, drinking, smoking. You know what I'm saying? I've been footloose and fancy free. I done had my little moment, and now I'm finna, go back, go do another fast. I'm about to start another fast, and it's just really, really. Um, the ancestors is opening up the door, opening up the space, and preparing me for because when I first started doing this work, it amazed me how when I was doing this work, I thought I was doing it for a certain group of people, and you're never doing the work for the people that you are in front of now. You're always doing this work for people that you haven't met, for people that you don't know. And I want to travel. I want to go to Hawaii this year. I want to go to California again this year. Um, if I could, I want to go to Paris. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, but I definitely want to go to Paris. Like, there's a lot of things that I want to experience, and I was gonna try to make a way for me and this person to travel together. Like, I wanted them to be with me, and I was gonna try, to get grants that would be inclusive of them. But I'm not doing that. I'm focusing on my platform. I'm focusing on my art. I'm focusing, like, and people will say that you're gatekeeping and you're being selfish when you don't include other people in your work, and when you don't include other people in your art, and they'll say, yo, you being narcissistic, you don't want to share, and you don't want to share resources. But I'm not fixing to be out here hustling for people, and I'm not going to be around here getting funding for people to disrespect me and to treat me like, if I was to share the Cash App, like if I was to screenshot the funds that I've sent to her, and there's a huge number of funds that she sent to me, but let's be clear, these are funds that I've sent to her that she was sending back to me, funds that I sent to her from another account that she sent back to me, like literally, and then funds that I sent her to, like, because Miss Baby ain't sent me no $700. Maybe 100, maybe 100, maybe 100, but she ain't sent me no $700. But if that's the number that I say she sent me, And I'm telling you, that's money I sent her that she was sending back to me because for some reason my Cash App wasn't working and we had to use hers because I ain't have no card or something like that. Like it was some type of glitch where she had to send me my money back. Like it was something like that. But the coins I sent her, if I show you what I sent her in Cash App, every time she's ever been around me, most of the time she's around me, I always give her something. If it's nothing but 20 or $25 to buy some food or something, like I'm always trying to do something for her because I know her living situation and I know what she's going through. I always try to be there for her. I always try to support her. I always try to show up for her. I really do. And I don't have much. I share everything that I fucking have because that's how I want people to treat me. That's how I want people to treat me. It's not rocket science. You treat people how you want to be treated. So I share everything I have with the people that I love because I want them to share like that with me. And you don't typically get that from people. Get your tour. Get your tour going on. Yeah, get your traveling on. Get your paper up. Yes, ma'am. Oh, that don't count. Them giving you someone else something, sending you back their own money. Right, right. Like we was looking at that when it was like what she had sent. I was like, tell this money that you sent me back. Like this literally, like she probably done sent me $100. She probably done gave me $100. Probably, probably, literally, probably. And then years ago, when we were staying together, when we first met each other, she was helping out with the rent. And so like when we first met each other, she helped out with the rent because again she was staying with me for free. And so she contributed to rent. And then one time I think she sent me half of the money to pay for the songs when we went to the studio. Like one time I think she did that. And so that's where those coins come from. But like literally, all of the coins that I sent her, I ain't never stayed at her house. She ain't never gave me nowhere to stay. She ain't never put me up. She ain't never, I ain't never been able to say, oh, I ain't got nowhere to go. Can I come by you? I ain't never been able to do that. I ain't never been able to depend on her for nothing like that. I'ma give it to her now. She have showed up for me. Like when I need somebody to show up, she gonna show up. But 9 times out of 10, I'ma look out for her in some way. So it has been balanced. It hasn't been her just showing up and me just like, thank you for coming. Appreciate you. It ain't been that. It been, oh, you coming? All right, well, I'm gonna get us something to smoke. Or we gonna get something to drink. Or I'm gonna cook. Oh, I got a few dollars for you. Like if you helping me, I'm looking out for you. Like literally, that's how our relationship has been. Like I've always tried to show up for her and tried to help her. And the fact that you would sit up here and play in my face and pretend like that argument was big enough for what happened. You really low key, you resent me. Is something deeper going on because the way that you went off that day, the way everything that you let out, that's what you've been wanting to do. That's what you've been wanting to do. Cause I didn't even understand it when she was walking out the door after I called her a fag. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let it go. When she was walking out the door, because normally I walk her to the train station. When she was walking out the door, I still told her, I love you. I hope you make it home safe. And when she texted me and she was going off and she was saying all the ugly stuff that she was saying, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you time to calm down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you time to calm down. That's why when I did the live last night, I didn't say her name. That's why when I did the live earlier today, I didn't say her name. She didn't call me all day long. She ain't messaged me all day long. She blocked me on Facebook. She blocked me on TikTok. She didn't I don't know. I don't think she blocked me on Instagram. But I don't know why, because she blocked me on everything else. She blocked me on Facebook. She blocked me on TikTok. Um, so I'm like, you ain't spoke to me all day. Then all of a sudden, I get a whole bunch of messages from a number with the same area code as her phone. I get a whole bunch of messages, and the messages are so detailed. Some of the messages are saying information that only she would know because she's been around me. Like some of the things that she was saying, it would take a person who's actually shared space with me to say those things. And so I know it was her. And the messages were ugly. Like it was ugly all day long. I ain't heard from you. And you could have simply just messaged me back and said, hey, I overreacted. I apologize. You know, the hormones getting to me. And I would have been forgiven. But you're still doubling down on it. So I don't have any choice now because now you've crossed the line. Now you've talked about my status. You've threatened to turn me in. You've done all of this stuff. You've done this stuff and you can't come back from that. When you blocked me on social media, you legit went too far then. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so all of the videos that we did that, because I don't want her to feel like I'm earning a coin off of videos that me and her done together. That's why I'm setting all them to private, because I ain't trying to earn no check off of that. Oh well, that's good. There's some good. Unless something changed or it was always there. Hey, I'm back. I just wanted to apologize about yesterday. That was not a Christian thing for me to do. Yesterday, I wanted to apologize. Okay. So, when things go too far, it's time to let the relationship go. Yeah. And my daughter is like, don't you don't you ever and my people did not want me to let her back in my life after the last time. And I just could not believe that she was willing to just throw it all away like that. Like that just really, really got me. That she really legit let she just threw it away like that. Like, that was so crazy. Like all the work that we've been doing and everything that we've been working on. Like, I'm gonna grieve this. Like this is gonna be a grieving period for me because me and her have done so much work together and we have been building something together and we have really like harmonizing together and making music together and making art together and creating culture together. Like we've been doing a lot of work together. Like she was like she felt like a soulmate. Like she felt like one of my soulmates. And unfortunately, um, I just have to deal with the fact that um our stars are no longer in alignment and she's going in another direction and I can't stop that. I can't. There's nothing I could do about it. That's her journey. This journey, she has to go this part of the journey on her own, just like I do. We've clearly given each other what we were supposed to give each other. um and so now this part of the journey is hers and this part of the journey is mine. Amen, a woman. So yeah. But anyway, let me go ahead and call my sister. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Y'all take care. And I will probably check in with y'all soon. Definitely by the time I get ready to start my fast. I'm being good. My little friend called me and he was trying to come over and I lied and told him I had a boyfriend. Cause guess what? Shop is shut down. All right, I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. Take care. Later. Thank you for the purple hearts.